Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome to the meeting of North Thoresby Parish Council. First of all, I'll come to it a bit later on, but we've all been struck by illnesses, been going on for weeks, which is why we're very short-handed at the moment and struggling. But we have got stuff we have to get through, so we've assembled here to carry on with the meeting. First of all, for those of you who were here last night, tremendous community spirit, shown actually what this village is all about. It was a packed hall, overflowing into the committee room, and I'd particularly like to thank Councillors Marshall and Howard for making it happen. They were the ones who actually instigated it and made it happen. Both of whom are poorly at the moment, so they're not here. I have to tell you that the meeting may be recorded, and I've been asked to remind you of the law regarding the Public Meetings Act, and that CCTV may be used to identify anyone causing a disturbance. I've also been asked to explain about council agendas and what they are. So by law, the council must publish its meeting agenda 3 clear days in advance. This is so the public can see what will be discussed and voted on and witness this procedure on any item they're interested in. It is unlawful for any councillor to raise additional items during the meeting because, as the public haven't been told beforehand it will be discussed, they haven't been given the chance to attend and witness the due democratic process. Any councillor who does this literally has their own agenda. And that's where the expression comes from. Okay, item 2, public participation and questions. Any questions will be at the discretion of the chair as per standing orders. What I'd like to do first of all is to introduce County Councillor Marfleet, where he is, yeah. Just going to give us a brief rundown on devolution.
Thank you. I'll stand up. I'm your County Councillor, and I'm here to just let you know that on Friday, Lincolnshire County Council agreed to go to public consultation on devolution and the concept of having a mayor for Greater Lincolnshire. In theory, what this means is that North East, North Lincolnshire and Lincolnshire County Council will form and merge some of the services together and will appoint a mayor. The mayor will be appointed, if it all goes ahead, on the next county council elections, which is in a year in May, so May 2025. The mayor will have certain powers in which he will have different powers to the current leaders of the council. So his main initial focus will be on housing, transport and further education. I'm very pro this arrangement, not from the point of view of some say it's an extra layer of bureaucracy, not really. It is an extra person in the system, but their responsibility sits outside the current political system of local government, which is why it's called devolution, devolving extra powers locally. From a point of view of North Thoresby, the benefits is that we end up with closer working relations with the likes of North East, transport, further education from children's point of view, and the benefits of sort of kids connecting with schools and colleges, and the sort of breaks down those barriers that currently exist will diminish more. It will address bigger issues of climate, agriculture, coastal erosion, flooding. So there's a lot more powers for the mayor to start to resolve some of the bigger issues within Lincolnshire, but at the same time, he will have a bit more, he will be able to work directly with members of central government. So, all in all, for the whole deal, the deal on, the public consultation has opened now for about 2 months. There will be some shows around the county. If you go on the website, there is a lot of intense, it tells everything that is going to happen, what can happen, and the whole guidance and everything. It's really well mapped out. It seems a bit brief when you look at it for a glance and the summary, but actually if you go into the detail, it's very detailed, and there's been a lot of work gone onto it. From a point of view of Lincolnshire, we will get an extra £24 million a year over the next 30 years. In reality, there are very few mayors across the country. I think there's about 11 so far, or we will be the 11th. The other one that's going is the other side of the Humber, which is Hull and East Yorkshire. It will bring in extra money, but from a point of view of it gives us better access to funds and funding elsewhere from central government. So it's a start. It won't be the same as it will be from when it starts. If it starts in 30 years' time, it will transform and go on a journey. And I think that it will benefit us now and for the future. So if you go onto Lincolnshire County Council's website, it will be the first thing on the page. It's all there, and we're out now for public consultation. Everyone's views will be brought in to see what they think. Some people are pro a mayor, some people are against a mayor, but it's a figurehead for Greater Lincolnshire where the government can go to one person. The roads look good. I mean, the new tarmac down going through Locker Road, I mean, they've done a good job there. We'll see how it finishes off. I know there's some issues on some of the verges on the edge. That will done. The other bit up Station Road, they have where it's slumped has been semi-rectified. I think there's perhaps a bit more of perhaps polishing up, but at least it was a lot better than the dip in the road that was on the verge edge, which was related to the Anglian water thing. If you've got any other issues on highways or any other issue, please let me know, and we will keep working as we are constantly to actually get the roads better. But I do feel at long last we've taken quite a big leap forward in the village. That's it from my point of view at this point in time, but I'll let you hand back to you.
Yeah, if you would please, if Duke's up to date with what's going on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Murphy.
May I ask a question, please?
Yes.
You say 24 million
Yes.
across the whole of Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
How much is that per person? Absolutely
Not
minuscule.
not a lot, but
No, absolutely.
but then they get all the they get a proportion of the adult training, and it's a start. But it's 24 million. They get access to certain funding, so it does start to trigger off quite a bit.
Yeah. I believe it when I see it.
Well,
I've been around a very long time,
Well, you
and
have,
I'm certainly against devolution,
Well-
because I don't think it will benefit East Lindsey at all.
I think it will
go,
actually, Terry.
go
But
to the...
everyone's got their rights to a view on
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
And everyone can read it. But I suggest you read the
I have read
small
it.
print, the document, and it will
I've
highlight
read it in great detail
But there's
and eaten it.
there is obviously some issues with this in some sense, but I will just say all our MPs aren't very supportive either. That's because in effect they don't necessarily want a figurehead. There are issues about this. It's all about making a stance, and this is I think a game changer for the next generation. My kids went to college. Their transport to getting in and out of college is shocking. They go into college for a day, then they get 1 hour or 2 hours lectures. You know, that's not ideal. It's not linked into a local industry. You know, people in Lincolnshire, I think, especially the youth of today, we've got ports at Immingham. We've got a massive food industry and agricultural industry. We've got the Air Force. We've actually got so much going for Lincolnshire, it's better that actually we started to tie it in and really give our children an advantage here. And there are other things with transport. You can't get a bus from Loughton to Boston. You can't get public transport. We need to start and improve things for Lincolnshire. And this is a start. I'm not saying it's the best, but when you look at what deal everyone else has got across the country, they're taking it, they're moving on, and they are starting to figure, they know that they can make it better than, because central government's not going to help us out a lot more. There's no funding. I mean, the money has gone at the minute, so we may as well start to, as we say, plough our own fire and actually start to really listen. As for what you say, Terry, if we get the wrong mayor, I don't think we all sit in a little go-slow zone. If we get the right mayor, that someone knows Lincolnshire and what they're doing, I think we will move places.
Why do we need a mayor? Why do we need a mayor?
Because it links in a central figurehead. The mayor can actually, it's a centre point for central government to go to, and at the end of the day, everybody will be in agreement, because if they're not, and all fall out, nobody goes anywhere and everyone will vote against it.
The thing is, Hugo, you say I've mentioned 24 million.
Yeah.
All right? That won't go anywhere to make transport in East Lindsey any better.
It'll get more joined up and they'll get more joined
I'm sorry,
up there.
I've
But
been
they
around a
access
long
extra
time.
funding. Maybe, Terry, but if we really wanted to get into it, we would go full unitary, and actually that would bring in another 35
But doesn't
million.
this put in another layer of bureaucracy?
No, it doesn't put in actually, because the mayor actually, Defra wants to work with the new mayor to sort out agriculture, the environment, the carbon footprint, net carbon. We've got potentially hydrogen plants to come in on the Humber Bank. There is a lot of opportunity. And as we stand currently, there is no joined upness. And what we're doing is currently, the one joined up thing that we do have in Lincolnshire is called the Greater Lincolnshire Local Enterprise Partnership. And that local enterprise partnership is the business element of Lincolnshire. And that is going to devolve back into the county council and, in effect, into Greater Lincolnshire. And I think that that has worked really well to start to map out where things are good, where things are bad. And currently, things need improving. Believe you me. I've been on East Lindsey, and I sit at the county council, and I see how long and slow it can take things. At least the mayor, somebody is accountable to get things moving quicker. And we can all have our views on it, but we will never ever agree, so we may as well learn to just accept it and disagree. And I'll go with my views and Terry will go with his views. And if I had my real views, I'd unify the lot and actually simplify so that we don't question which green bin goes out in this area and which green bin goes out in another area. Everything is one number, one council. But I'm not doing that, and that's not today. But this is about just bringing devolution back. It's about business, it's about adult education, it's about transport, and it's about creating better and improving homes that are not fit for purpose. And it's about accessing funds and innovation and tying up the best of Lincolnshire and what it's got to offer and making it better. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll let that go on a bit. I know normally we curtail it, but there's important information there that none of us knows about, and it was important to hear both sides of the coin, I think. So thank you very much. Any more questions from the body? Yes, lady, right?
Me?
Yeah.
So as in events every year we give a donation to the school for them to put on a show for the children at Christmas or something like that. This year we're going to do a film afternoon for them in the hall here on the 20th of December. I've already booked the hall. Could I ask the parish council if that would be free of charge, please, as a donation of kind to the school, so that it's of no charge?
We normally do that, don't we?
children's now.
Yeah. How do you go about doing it? Because obviously it's not a gender item,
Yeah.
but we
Don't
could.
need an answer right now.
That's fine then, yeah.
Put it to you, if that's
Yeah.
possible, could you let me know?
That's fine, yeah, we have got a system inside we have got a system in place where we can actually do that. It's built into the hire agreement.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead with that, and I'm sure we'll be able to, well, when we've got a fuller council, we're struggling at the moment, there's not many others, but I would imagine that will be very likely agreed with.
Okay, thank you.
Propose and second it.
Yeah, if you've got a quorum, you propose and second it now and just carry on and move on.
No, it's not on an agenda item, I just explained.
It doesn't have to be an agenda
I have
item,
just-
it can be open forum.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Madam, I don't know who you are, but you do not have a say in this matter. We go by the law. I've just explained that you cannot do that. Now, please do not interrupt. The gentleman in front of you put your hand up. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I have a question through the chair for Councillor Spence. Is Councillor Spence here?
yeah.
Ah, excellent. I understand that you took over the HR and Facilities Committee on the 2nd of October. And I believe that serious allegations were made by Councillor Gale against Mr Baxter, the Parish Council Clerk. My question is, can you tell us, have these allegations been investigated? What investigations have taken place? And what decisions have been made?
As chair, I will have to take that, and that is not a subject that can be discussed. But that is all confidential information. We did due diligence, very, very thorough due diligence with Mr Baxter and his employment, and there's absolutely nothing whatsoever in his actions while he has been employed by us.
But he lied on his application.
Which, Councillor Gale, please.
He lied on his application.
No, it's not. No.
And it's
If
been
this
cease
goes
and
any
desist.
further, if this carries on any further, this is not a point for debate. If this carries on any further, I will call for the meeting to be suspended. We've been down this route once
He's got
before.
a cease and
So,
desist order.
anything that we come up with, you don't agree with, you just suspend the meeting. Is that right?
Did you understand what I said about the agenda?
Did you understand what I just said?
Did you understand what I said about the agenda?
Did you
We cannot-
understand what I just said?
I beg your pardon.
That's how you treat people.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Right, I think.
No, you don't
Stage,
think. That's half the
I
problem.
think.
Is this,
Nigel, have
is this
you,
being minuted? Can I ask
Yes,
you?
I'm
minuting
it.
Oh, thank you for
Right.
qualifying that.
Okay,
Just like to know.
if you have a point, if you have a question like this, please write it down, leave your contact details, and we will get back to you in due course. But this is
What,
not.
by email?
Can I just ask a
Which have you
question?
wished?
When you say if we have a question like that,
Yeah,
can I understand a question like what?
like we
I
just
don't
had.
understand what you mean by a
Easy,
question
easy.
like
If you have a question to ask, then please write the question down, let us know what it is, and we will respond in due course.
So
What's
why
due
can't
course?
why can't you discuss? I mean, I've got a question that I want to ask, but I strongly suspect that.
Ask the question then, please, do
Right.
it.
So, Mr. Chairman, are you aware of the seriousness of a cease and desist order? As
That
opposed
is
to a
not,
letter?
that is not a proper subject for a council meeting.
So you
It's a
don't
very
understand
valid
what-
That's an ambiguous, that is an ambiguous statement and leading statement. If you have any questions about,
I just asked.
if you have any
sort of
questions
what-
about
sort of what.
this village and what happens in this village and matters concerning this village, then please ask us. But do not come here asking vague questions.
Baxter has a cease and desist
I don't
order
understand
against
why
It's
it's
not
a vague
vague.
question. I'm
That is
asking
vague.
you if
Why is
you
it vague?
understand the
I just said it's
seriousness
vague,
of it.
that's why.
Sorry?
I just said it's vague. I'm in the chair. The chair decides what is correct and what isn't correct.
Like I said, so if you don't
That's-
agree with it,
That's the
then
law.
that's
If,
the way-
if you
no, it's not.
dislike it, if
It's
you
not the law at
dislike
all.
it, then
We
I
live in a
suggest you change the
democracy.
law.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
your bullying behaviour towards people is not acceptable.
Really?
Chair, the evidence of the cease and desist order was sent to you months ago.
Could you please
Has
sit
it been
down?
investigated yet?
No cease and desist order is of any relevance to this council.
Of course it
Of
is.
course it is.
You're the proper officer.
No, I'm not the proper officer.
You can't employ a proper officer with a cease and desist order.
We can,
This community deserves to know.
this council is doing everything by the book, and no matter what you say, it is not going to change
it's
the
not.
fact that we have employed somebody, we are contractually employed to this person, and that's how it's
In the
done.
standing
Please
orders,
do.
it says if he's lied on his application, it's gross misconduct.
Right, I think,
It's gross misconduct and he should be dismissed.
yeah, I think so, yeah.
Because you don't agree with it again.
No, because we go by democracy.
We go by democracy.
Yes, how does...
Excuse me?
I am going to call for a motion to suspend the meeting. Democratically, a vote is then taken by the councillors who are present. Right? That is
Mr.
democracy.
Buckingham, I've got a question for you.
So,
Okay?
councillors,
I have received, you sent me an email saying you had not received a formal complaint, simply vague assertions, and these have also come from your personal email. That doesn't matter. It says if you have a formal complaint, it must be addressed in the proper manner by our clerk, which I did. However, the clerk controls the parish council emails. You said, I wrote to you as chairman, and you say you've got no notification that you received it. However, as your councillors will see, in the pack I've given up, it says, "Dear Mr. Buckingham, do you remember this? You say you've never received it." This clearly indicates you did, because you replied to Mr. Baxter, "Too late, he's already sent it to Heather Beer." And there's the email that you sent to me. So you are denying you received it, and yet the strong evidence is there that you did receive it.
and
Are you saying you didn't receive it?
are you saying?
Are you saying...
Are you saying that you sent an email, an official email from your personal account?
That doesn't make it...
It does.
It does not, I'm afraid. It does not.
That's the law.
Because, let me finish, because
I'm going to call
your
you.
clerk has made sure that no one can contact a parish councillor, because they all go through the clerk, and he never sent that email on. He obviously sent it to you because you admitted you'd received it because you were annoyed, and it says, and your councillors will see it in their documentation, it says, and I repeat, it says, "Too late, he's already sent it to Heather Beer."
Yes, you already sent it to somebody who was outside the council.
No, it was not. Heather Beer, I've got her email address simply because your clerk will not forward them
Could
to
you
the...
tell me
Look,
what the
just
options
let
are
me
to
finish.
contact
Let
the
me
parish
finish.
council?
You're very rude. You're not going to bully me. You're not going to bully me, I tell you now. And my emails have all gone to people who need to know. And I feel very, very sorry for the parish council representatives here, because you are being misled. And I tell you now,
We know.
I tell you now, I will...
Excuse me.
Yes, let me finish. Don't be so rude.
I beg your pardon.
I will continue.
You do not.
I will continue to support members of this community
Shame
as
you.
Yes.
I will continue to support.
on you.
Shame on you for what?
For
what?
and standing
For what? I have,
represent this parish, you're representing yourself.
I represent, put your hands up, do I represent this parish?
You're representing these people.
No, I represent, and I will continue to represent the parish, but I won't support the parish council.
The last time you interrupted everybody, we asked you for help and you said you were too busy.
That's not true. No, that was, because that was sent to me.
And it says here, provide me, it went out to all your parish councillors, and it says, "Would you please supply me with evidence and no one has supplied me with any evidence. No parish council, no parish council.
And you said you were too busy.
That is an do you think you believe I would say that?
Yes,
No.
he did say it.
Definitely not.
Can I speak if you would talk to me, because it was me that he refused to, he said it was too.
Councillor Aldridge, can you sit down just for 2 seconds so we can speak?
Excuse me, but we were out there at the first meeting. Excuse me, I'm Helen Berryman, and I asked you face to face.
I know you're Harry Berryman. I wrote to you and asked for your
I asked
comments.
you, I
Where are your comments? There are no comments at all.
Can I give them?
I'm
Can I
calling
tell
this meeting to order. You are being disruptive.
I know,
Excuse
I know,
me.
and I will continue, not today,
You
but-
are continuing to be disruptive. You confess you are being disruptive.
We'll
That is
wait
your
and see.
purpose. Thank you.
just wait and see what's happening.
There were many witnesses when I asked you, can I come and see you?
Yeah.
Bye. There were many witnesses out there when I
Yeah,
asked
no,
you.
there's not many here from the village.
Mrs. Berryman,
Councillor Aldridge, will you please be quiet?
no, not at the moment, because Mrs. Berryman had every opportunity to
But you
contact
said-
me in
You said
writing.
you were too
I put in my
busy.
email, please let me know dates, times, when you wrote to me, and my response. And no one on this parish council has responded.
So in front
Thank
of all
you.
these people, can I come and see you, please? Can I come and see you?
That's enough, Terry, that's enough. Terry, that's enough.
Terry, I am asking
Terry,
it
just
again.
right, calm down.
That's enough.
Come on, up the back. Just ask your questions first. Let's just get the questions out of the way. Let everyone ask the questions, and then,
I
in
will
effect,
take
take
up-
them all down, note them all down,
They've got 3 minutes
and,
left.
and do a response. But what's your question?
You would have heard from me that I submitted a formal complaint on 7th of November, which I've not yet had any response to that complaint, which has now been nearly 4 weeks. That revolved around totally incorrect minutes in July, which is potentially slanderous. I submitted a further complaint
Libelous, you mean?
about a week ago regarding the minutes of the last meeting, which are again factually incorrect. I would encourage you as the council and councillors to ensure your minutes are factually correct. If you adopt them in the current format, as they were at the last meeting, it's been published on the website, again are slanderous, and there could be consequences on the council and ultimately the residents.
Mr. Thomas, I'm fully aware of who you are, but I would like to point out that this is a democracy and the councillors, as a corporate body, agreed those minutes were accurate. That if you...
Not all of the councillors did. I made it quite clear that they were incorrect and did not tie up with the recording. Councillor Buckingham was talking to you.
Okay, if you've got any other questions, we've now run out of time. If you've got any other questions, could you put them on a piece of paper, leave your contact details, and we will get back to you in due course.
Just a quick one. Are you currently filming
No,
members of the public?
we've stopped the
Are you
question.
filming members of the public right now?
So,
Mr.
we are now
Buckingham,
going
Are you
on
filming
to...
members of the
Mr. Buckingham, you never answered my question. I had a question to you. Did you receive the email or not?
So, motion to exclude...
Did you receive the email or not? Were the evidence
So
in
I
front of your
propose
councillors
that we
and the
exclude
people
members
here
of the
really
public from
says
participation.
you
That is
did,
the motion.
you did respond.
I'm proposing seconded and
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
majority vote.
Do you know what that vote was for?
No.
No, because it wasn't called
That's because
out.
it was so, yeah.
It wasn't
So
called
they all
out.
voted, literally put their hands up, and they didn't even know what that vote was for.
I know English is
No,
one
it's
as
not.
well.
You just said it.
Can you please refrain from disturbing this meeting?
Sorry, we didn't hear what you said.
Are
Well,
you filming the
unfortunately, that's not our fault. It was being overtalked by Mr. Aldridge.
Are you filming the public right now?
Right, so,
Yes or no?
apologies from
Chair, you've
absence.
been asked a question. Are you filming the public right now?
Yeah, yes.
You've got security cameras, I did tell you at the
No,
beginning.
what's that
That's
one?
different. Only the police can access those, or
That-
the police authority. Are you
that
filming
is-
the public
There are security cameras operating. You have been.
What's the iPad? What's the iPad behind you?
That's not a security camera.
That's not a security camera. Are you?
Can you answer the question, what's the iPad behind you filming? It's a simple question. Or turn the bloody thing off. No, Mr. Book, Chair. All you do is bully and assault.
What have you
End of.
looked at? What evidence have you looked at?
Your behaviour.
Our parish council.
Come on.
Your behaviour.
Isn't it?
Last
Evidence.
meeting.
You're on about Mr. Baxter. Where's the evidence?
It's out there in the free world for everybody to see. Yes. Has he not just lost his JP status?
Yes.
Oh no, he resigned, didn't he, before he lost it? Very convenient that, isn't it?
Right.
It will be on CCTV.
I'm going to suspend you. We've got work to do.
There's papers that are available for people to read about the cease and desist order. There is also a statement I've put together about Mr. Baxter's misdemeanours in other areas and how it affects this parish. So if you want to circulate them,
It'll all be fine until we start with the fine and we all have to pay more, won't it?
According to them, we're not villagers, so...
Oh, are we not?
No, we shouldn't.
I've lived in the parish, I live in the parish.
Can I just say also that we only had Mr. Baxter as an applicant. That's all we had. What we needed to do.
It doesn't make any difference.
It makes no difference. I've had a job where I've had one applicant.
You don't have to take the only
We
applicant.
didn't have to take him, but when we
You did.
we didn't have to take
we
him.
saw what we wanted to see because he interviewed very
He
well.
interviewed extremely well. The only reason why we only had one applicant, because there was a rumour going around, or it was posted out there.
The chair can't even be bothered to listen, so I don't see why I should
I'm not
either.
talking to him, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
You're
No,
talking to the
it's
minister,
a gamble,
so everybody's
and you
talking,
do.
isn't it?
Okay. Because what they were saying was that somebody was spreading a rumour across all the clerks' forums not to work for North Thorsby Parish Council.
And that was a
because they were-
rumour that was generated by Baxter.
that they were saying.
Yeah, that was a rumour that was generated by Baxter. And when you went back to the forums, well, you didn't go back to the forums, but I did, and spoke to the people that were in the forums. And that was generated by Baxter.
I'll tell you what, I've heard that many lies and misinformation, even about me, saying I've done things which I've not done. Well, I haven't because I was there.
All I am interested
You talk about contacting the council. We've got two ways to contact the council, through the clerk or by post.
You can't contact anyone
if
because
you
you've
want
done
to
away
go
with
to-
all the emails.
If you want to go to TLB,
You don't have to have
right,
it on
Mr.
there.
Shaw at the back there, he's clerk to TLB.
We're
You
not
either
talking about
email
TLB.
him
We're
or
talking
you
about
post
this.
it to his house.
We're not at TLB.
We're talking about here, there's letters that have arrived at this village hall that I've never got. Because they're just being dumped, I suppose.
Why does it have to go all your emails? Why can't you keep them individual so we can contact you individually?
Because madam, that's absolutely right, but the thing is, Mr. Baxter doesn't like the idea
The chair
of
will
other
explain.
people don't like the idea of
You go
sharing
through-
that
you go through-
information.
same as
While
everyone, most
Baxter's
other
got
places,
control of it,
you
he
go
can say what he
through-
likes.
You go through the
And he
clerk.
can lead this council on
because
about
it
when he's
centralises all
supposed to have
questions.
responded to FOI
You'll find
information
many,
requests,
many
and he
councils do
doesn't.
the same thing. It goes through
And
the
we are
clerk
outstanding
or
right
through a
now
postal
something
address.
with the Information
So in
Commissioner,
our
which we
particular
could get
case-
fined for.
In our particular case, I get emailed, the clerk at emailed, and I get copied on all of them. Some of them I think, right, okay, that needs to go to the vice chair as well, so I'll pass it on to the vice chair or the chair of one of the committees.
Mr.
all
Buckingham,
Unless, of course,
I'm
it's from
very
me when you
pleased
just
to hear
generally
that you
ignore
receive
it.
emails because you received mine
Yeah.
and you responded by contacting Heather Beer, who is a councillor here, before she got married. You admitted that you received it, and now you are lying that you didn't.
I never said I hadn't received it.
Sorry?
It's down in writing.
You certainly have. I've got the evidence.
I said
here.
I've
Here's
received,
the evidence.
I've received no formal complaint.
Here's the evidence that you received it because you responded by saying you're too late. He's contacted Heather Beer.
Right, there's going to be no more discussion. We have got work to do for this council, for this parish.
I actually don't think that people probably should leave the room at the moment.
That's quite all right. You can stay. I haven't suspended it. I haven't asked for the room to be cleared. But it's not up to you either. All right? I'm the one trying to run a meeting when we've got people saying they're deliberately here to disrupt it.
No, we're not here.
Right, so,
We want
apologies for absence from councillors.
Where's the clerk?
I've explained he's ill, I'm ill.
He's ill.
If you'd been listening at the beginning, you'd have heard.
I heard about the councillors, not the clerk.
So we've received apologies from Councillor Jones, Councillor Marshall, Councillor Howard, and I consider the reasons acceptable. And as I said, the clerk, Mr. Baxter, is also poorly, and I'm bunged up to the eyebrows. Right, so item 5, declarations of interest. This is pecuniary interest. To councillors, any councillors that have to make any declarations of pecuniary interest related to the business on hand tonight? No? I take that as a no. Right. And the clerk said he received no declarations prior to the meeting either. Right, minutes of the last meeting.
I have some amendments.
Okay, if you tell me what they are.
As a county councillor, can you not speak to Detective Chris Cooper from Humberside Cyber Crimes Department?
So the first one is
about
item number
this
3.
plan? Because these
I've
ones
got
have had the
all these written
evidence
down.
for months and things.
Yeah, but we've
He's
got
got
to
cease
just
and
wait, let's
desist
just wait.
order.
We've got to-
Why aren't the county
no,
council
just carry
doing
on. We
more
will carry on.
this technique?
We usually let the people go out. We usually give them 2 or 3
We're
minutes.
begging for help. Look at this community.
What
We've
is
got a
your
plan.
update? What
Why is
are
everybody standing back and saying that the evidence doesn't exist? This man is a pathological liar.
Yeah, no, I don't, I'm not saying anything
Get the
about
county
this.
council involved and look
Well,
at the
because
evidence
technically it needs to
around
be
this.
the district council matter in terms of the legislation and like that. Which, I mean, what I don't understand is why aren't they here? Because somebody should be orchestrating this, because I think there is a legal obligation about evidence and everything else. And it does seem a bit unclear.
Councillor
and it
Marfleet,
shouldn't be
Councillor
unclear.
Marfleet, can I just
It is a
explain?
parish council.
Well,
Well, there is a process. There is a process. You can't just blame somebody without false accusations, and it has to go through.
You contact me.
The
Anything
thing
in
is,
this room,
these are all
contact me.
these are
I'll
all
give you all the
matters
police
which
details.
occurred before we employed.
He's just resigned as a
It
What
doesn't
they
mayor
did-
matter. A
because
cease
he
and
was
desist
faced with a
law
complaint by the
computer
judiciary.
mystery.
We
It's
are
a
looking at-
legal
we are
It's
looking at
order.
employment law.
And these lot won't even look at the evidence.
January's meeting, you should have it all laid out. And
We-
just try and-
It's all laid out now, but he won't listen.
It's not relevant. Everything they
It
throw at
is
us is
relevant.
allegations and to
Well,
do with
it
their
needs somebody official to actually just, rather than
needs-
you.
Nobody will listen.
We are.
County council, district council.
I will make some inquiries to how to try and
You'll only get thrown out.
Councillor Martin, can you come and speak?
Yeah. I will have a word and pay for January.
No, if you could do it prior to that, so we actually can. We need, yeah, if we call an EUM, will you be able to come along?
I'm happy to, and I'll find out what I can find out to try and ensure that this process becomes open and
Well,
transparent.
we've got people here from different parishes coming on trying to force us to do.
Well, okay. Yeah, no, well, look, we'll get to the bottom of this, so it's
Right, first item.
Can we have quiet, please?
Okay, first item, from the last minutes, item number 3. The question asked by a member of the public was relating to the validity of the public EOM meeting. The chair confirmed that the notice was on the notice board on Thursday morning, 19th of October. The meeting was held on Monday the 24th of October. In item 3, section C of our standing orders, it states, the minimum 3 clear days for a notice of a meeting does not include the day on which the notice was issued, the day of the meeting, a Sunday, Christmas break, Easter break, or a bank holiday. Consequently, Thursday the 19th and Monday the 24th of October does not count. Sunday the 23rd of October does not count. That leaves Friday the 20th and Saturday the 21st. That's 2 days. Consequently, the meeting was not valid. This isn't my opinion. It's as laid down in our standing orders. So I propose that the records show that the meeting held on the 24th of October be designated as an informal meeting, and so consequently no formal notes of order are valid.
Which meeting we're talking about?
The EOM on Monday the 24th of October.
Which is minuted in the minutes of the last meeting.
Yeah.
It was on the Tuesday. It was on the Tuesday.
It was on the Tuesday.
What was on the Tuesday?
The meeting you're on about.
Tuesday the 24th.
So the 3 days are the Friday, the Saturday, and the Monday.
Okay. Okay, I withdraw that comment. I thought it was on the Monday. Second point. The clerk was asked why he took on the role. He said he was a qualified accountant. That's not verified. He said he was a qualified clerk, yet he's not completed all the qualifications to make that statement. The chair, you allowed the clerk to make wild allegations regarding a closed social media group. You've not fact-checked this with the group, but you've allowed it to go in the minutes with no evidence for doing so. The group to which Mr Baxter refers is a closed group, and they are not happy that Mr Baxter has breached the rules of the group. And furthermore, they have no history to what Mr Baxter is claiming. It's totally wrong for Baxter to criticise anyone in this forum where that individual group is unable to respond to the allegations. Therefore, this paragraph should be removed from the minutes.
First of all,
hang on, can I say a minute, Chair? At the interview, Mr Baxter said when he said about qualifications, and he made us fully aware he wasn't fully qualified because he had qualifications, part qualifications in accounting and as a clerk, so we were aware at the time.
But he keeps on making the statement in open meetings. He keeps on making the statement in open meetings, and he did last time, that he was a qualified accountant.
This particular meeting.
This particular meeting, I have the evidence on video which I can show you, which he says, I'm a qualified accountant, I'm a qualified clerk. He's not. Strike it from the minutes.
Lots of people say they're qualified.
But he's telling lies. My whole case against Mr Baxter is that he tells lies. He told you that he had an NDA with Fylingdales and with Nocton and couldn't talk about his background there. That was a lie. That's fact-checked with the chairs.
Just a moment. Are you saying that somebody said there's an NDA, non-disclosure agreement?
Somebody told one of our councillors that, yes.
So you're saying that there's an NDA, so you are
No, I'm not saying it. Mr Baxter said he said it. Mr Baxter told one of our councillors. Mr Baxter told one of our councillors.
Right, carry on with your other points.
I'm glad you find this is funny.
Carry on with your other points, please.
As
basically
said,
you said that you are now saying that the clerk, Mr Baxter, is lying about what he said.
Mr Baxter the clerk is lying about there being an NDA agreement either with Nocton or with Fylingdales. He made that statement to another councillor, not me, and I said, I don't think that's right.
So
and
this,
I checked it.
So this is rumour, you're saying?
No, I'm not saying it's
Yes,
rumour.
are you saying somebody said that, somebody
Be
said?
clear, I'm not saying it's rumour. Did he tell you there was an NDA in
Right.
place?
Carry on, what else have we got?
Councillor Buckingham, did he tell you there was an NDA in place?
This is not a debate, you made your point.
I asked you a question.
How can I answer that? If there's an NDA in place, I'm breaking the law by saying there's an NDA in place. Nonsense.
But there isn't an NDA in place, and that's why it's a
If
lie.
I'm saying there's a non-disclosure agreement, I'm disclosing there's a non-disclosure agreement.
Quite. So that's what Baxter said. But there isn't an NDA
So
in
you
place.
say that he said.
Don't be so foolish. There is no NDA in place. No
Right,
law's been
okay,
broken
we're
by
moving
me.
on to the next-
Baxter is lying, and that is what I am trying to prove to you.
Updates you want?
I have plenty. Plenty.
Please make them quick.
Well, I'll take as long as it takes. You know, there was
Very well.
14 pages of minutes or something ridiculous. Tabletop sale leaflets.
Which one are we looking at now?
Item about the tabletop sale leaflets, where I was pulled to rights about putting brochures around. Quite clearly on the video, position 11.8 minutes in, I state quite clearly that I am not allowed to publish anything on behalf of the parish council. I state that quite clearly. It doesn't state that in the minutes. In the minutes it says I didn't answer the question. A continuation from 14.3 in the video, I have found hard evidence, not alleged, hard evidence backed up by police, justice of the peace, at least 5 parish councils and half a dozen respected clerks. Are you making faces, Mr. Buckingham?
No, I'm just wondering how
I
long
have
this
made
is going
an-
on because we've got
It will
important
go
details.
on because the minutes are not correct.
Please
But he can't hear.
I can.
Well, just sit back to him.
Right, if you're going to make a
I
point,
will
we do not need a statement, just make your point.
I am making the point, but you seem to have difficulty listening to them.
Would it be help at all, because we've got business at the council, if you...
I know, and this is business of the council.
If you
Because without these,
submitted your written...
no,
points.
no, without these amendments, the minutes are not correct and should not be signed off by this council.
No.
Without
What-
these corrections,
what
the minutes are not
Yeah,
correct
come down
and will
a
not
second.
be signed off by the council.
They will be signed off by the council if the council, as a corporate body, votes to sign them off. What we do is we make a note of what your objections are.
Right.
Right.
I've made an offer for any member of this council and of the parish to come forward, and I'll share this information with them. And in the last month, I've had a healthy number of parishioners make inquiries. Not one member of the parish council has come to me to look at the evidence I have against Mr. Baxter. Plenty of parishioners, but not one member of this council. I made it perfectly clear that I do not have the authority to hand out information on behalf of the council. I made that perfectly clear. Please ensure that this minute is corrected properly. I will give you a copy of my notes. Item 6 on the minutes. The last line of the note is irrelevant. I have no understanding or wish to understand anything about Mr. Baxter's family. It was a hypothetical scenario and a very silly comment put in. Item number 7, in terms of approval of the minutes. From approximately minute 29 of the recording, I pointed out that the minutes as presented could be seen as libel. Consequently, should the other councillors agree to them, that would put them into a position of being held responsible, not the clerk, the councillors. From 29.47, the chair recognised I'd made my point regarding the sign-off of the minutes. This has not been documented in the minutes. I would like to put it into the minutes as I stated at the time. Item number 8, closed session. I clearly stated that a paper copy should have been provided to me. There is no enforcement that mail has to be electronic. This is something the clerk has made up. It has nothing to do with confidentiality. Your leaving this out of the minutes proves once again that the clerk cherry picks what you record. Please minute this correctly and send me the appropriate documents. Item number 9. I would like to confirm that the monitoring officer has been informed of the invalidity of this meeting. To be clear, the clerk has made the mistakes, but the councillors are held responsible. Item number 12, anti-fraud and corruption. The statement by Councillor Marshall, the last line on page 5, something that the previous admin didn't follow. This is libelous. The previous admin had procedures that they followed. They used Scribe. The transactions were all clearly allocated a ledger code. The clerk ditched Scribe as part of his modernisation programme. He did not properly assess the information to be brought over from the old system. It may be up to us to continually improve our systems, but once again, this is an incorrect statement that can only provoke and provide ammunition for the previous administration to raise complaints against us. Take the line out and stop knocking people. Item number...
Can I just come in. I mean, I get your point, but minutes is in effect a summary of the event of
Yeah.
what's gone on.
Not the way that
We-
Mr Baxter writes
And,
we've
and this has
explained
now
that.
gone into really technical,
Yeah.
line by line analysis.
Yeah.
And actually, the way it's sort of going,
But can I
the
say,
business of a
sir,
parish council is to make the best for the village, and
Yeah.
I'm really struggling. If you've got to this point, why? It's not about that. It's about working in together for the village.
absolutely,
And
absolutely, sir.
and
But
I don't
can
know
I just
how
say,
you've got half the agenda item. You need to strip everything about Baxter and not talk about it anymore. And actually, it's got to be resolved, not in this, not in a parish council meeting. The parish council meeting needs to go back to just talking specifically
I
and not
agree.
reference to
Trust
how
me,
it's
we
done in
have
the past
tried.
by
I
anybody
agree
else.
with you,
Whether
but
it's
the
done well
council,
or not,
I-
you need to
can I
now
just say,
focus
sir,
on going forward
if you
on
would
what is
allow me
best
to
for the
say, sir.
village and not make reference to anybody else and actually just do it. In our minutes of County Council, it doesn't specific. If I make a comment, it doesn't say Councillor Hugo Marpley. It says a member made a comment.
What
Absolutely.
if
And-
Mr
and you need
Baxter
to
was
just-
doing your minutes?
We have to move on.
I
This
understand that,
sounds
but
like a
Mr
horrendous
Baxter,
mess now.
It-
And
it is-
actually,
may I respond to what you said, sir?
I would half question now whether the truth can really ever come out. From
The
what I'm
truth
hearing,
is-
it's
The
got that
truth
messy.
is out.
I think it's got in. It's about. You've got to somehow find a way to move on now.
We've
And the
tried.
way that we
All
will
we want
move
to do
on
is
is
move
by
on.
Mr
As
Baxter
you
Can
yourself-
we
writing
just
the
get
minutes
this minute?
and
I mean,
writing.
I don't want to sit here all. I
I'm
personally
sure
I
you
don't want to
eating
sit here.
it.
The,
But can we not
it's
just?
the substance of the minutes.
How
is
much
what
more
the
have you got
council
to do?
votes on.
He,
Can I ask the county councillor, are the minutes a legal document?
Yes.
That they are a legal document, but
if
it's
they're
not
wrong-
a line by line
No.
recording.
It's the
analysis.
substance of the
If they
minutes.
were-
is what
If
we
it's,
vote on.
if it's wrong, or you have a right to challenge, there is, but this,
Baxter
what
writes
my point is
minutes
here,
that
this
are
has got
totally
nitty-gritty
verbose.
and shouldn't be
But
at this
there's
level.
14 pages of minutes.
Hmm?
There's 14 pages of
There's
minutes.
14
You
pages of
shouldn't
minutes
have
because there was
14
14
pages.
items brought
What
up.
did you say? There shouldn't be 14
Well, you
pages.
can
of
have
minutes.
14 pages, but you're getting into where you're going to start and log every single
Councillor,
aspect
have you
of
read
what
the last
everybody's
minutes?
saying.
That's the problem.
Sir, have you read
Can
the
I,
last
sorry,
minutes?
as a chair, can I just break in there? We are aware that the minutes are very long. They're very long because there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because
the
it's
reason.
got in a mess, but
Yeah.
you need to
It's
get
not
back
that
out.
we are working our way through it, but we
Yeah.
keep getting interrupted by matters like
Yeah.
this.
They're very
The-
long because
That
there's
is
lots
a
of verbose
legal
in there.
document, but the point of the matter is the council votes on the substance. No individual councillor tells any clerk what to write. They vote on the substance. That's, as you are well aware,
Yeah.
that's law. It's the clerk's minutes. Little bits in the, oh, she should say that, he should say that. A councillor cannot turn around and say it shouldn't be that way.
They are libelous.
We just write on the, we just vote on the substance.
Thomas
You could-
still here.
So if you could carry on and finish off with your updates or give us a document that we can then refer to, we will go with that.
They are
On the
libelous.
other matters.
They are libelous. Right. Where did I get to? So, libelous for the last people. Right, item 13, telephone access, item G. This wasn't actually updated at all. It was missed out that discussions were going to be held between the chair, the clerk and a member of the community. The action on that was totally missed out. Item number 13, re the fencing, same again. Missed out the discussions that were going to be held and the action that was going to be taken. Item number 13, the defib machine. There was a huge conversation about this. It's completely missed out that a statement was going to be made public so the village have an understanding about what's happening.
Could you please hurry up?
Did you hear what I said?
You just made the statement. You don't need to support your statement, just make the statement.
But it's all missed out. He misses out what he wants to. Number 14, the vote's been recorded wrongly. I abstained due to not receiving the papers in time to read them fully. I'd like that vote to be recorded properly. Number 15.
Oh, hold on. You should ask for a recorded vote at the time.
I did. I did.
It's on the video.
It's
You
on the
actually asked for a
video.
recorded vote, did you?
Yes.
You used that expression.
Absolutely, I said I wanted to make sure that it was abstained.
Sorry, which one is that again?
Item 14.
Item 14.
Once again, in item 15, the clerk states he's a qualified accountant.
Hold on, item 14, which bit we're on about?
The vote has been recorded wrongly. I abstained due to not receiving the papers in time. Item 15. Qualified accountant, not verified. Item 16. In the general expenses grid, it shows the clerk's travel as September to October, and then October to November, and then on this agenda as November. This is misleading. Please can we have a specific date range? You agreed for the hours of the clerk to be documented separately. They haven't been.
Is that it? Oh. Thank you. I can. I think. Yeah. What I can do, just at the moment, just to fill in while that's being handed out, the business about itemising the
Extra
clerk's
copies if anyone's
overtime.
interested.
That's, to be honest, I was unsure about this, so I got in touch with Ernlicher, who got in touch with the ICO. And the ICO said, no, you don't, because you only have a few employees. You could determine who was being referred to, so you're breaching personal data, basically it's GDPR. So we've been instructed by the ICO not to give out that information.
I'd be interested in seeing how that was questioned to the ICO, because
Right,
it was
so
a specific question
bearing
about the
in
clock,
mind
so we
we
knew who was
have
identified.
the corrections that have been submitted by Councillor Gale. What we'll do now is we'll no, you can't. We finished the questions.
But if
So what we will do is we'll motion. We cannot go through all these itemised, but what we will do is we'll say an amendment to the. It seems to be the only way we can do it, really, isn't it? If we vote on it with the updates requested by Councillor Gale to be added to the sort of like an addendum to the minutes. So what we're going to do then, I'll call for a motion. What we'll do is we will vote on the acceptance of the minutes of the 13th of November with the updates as requested by Councillor Gale added as an addendum. Because obviously that's going to need some checking by people with legal qualifications to make sure we're not doing anything wrong there. But the substance of the minutes will be voted upon. The substance stands. There's lots of basically minor items here, items which are open for debate. That's
Chair, if you look at the video, they're not open for debate at all.
A proposal to
it's as it appears on the video.
Then to accept the minutes as they stand with the updates from Councillor Gale as an amendment. I'll propose that. Second, yeah. In favour?
Yeah.
If the amendments are included, yes.
Okay, so that's a unanimous vote. Okay. Co-option or campaign to the local community. This is actually a very, you cannot leap at this. It's an important decision. We are short on councillors. It's been it hasn't been so long since we actually put out the notice. We've only had 2 applicants, and I really don't think that we've got enough people on hand to give fair weight to this decision.
We are quorate.
We
are quorate.
So we
cannot not do anything because we are quorate.
I will propose. What's the word for it? It's actually a word. I don't know if it can.
We cannot hold this up, Chair.
So
we are quorate.
I'm going to propose a motion to adjourn because we've got 3 council absence and the clerk, and we don't have to fill the vacancies. We want to.
We do have to fill the vacancy. If somebody puts themselves forward, we have an obligation to take those people, to look at those people and take them on.
So I'm going to
If
call
only
for
one
an
person
adjournment.
had put themselves forward,
I'm
we'd be
proposing
taking that person on
an
tonight.
adjournment. Do I have a seconder?
No, it's against standing orders. It's against the law and against standing orders. You cannot prevent somebody joining this council.
We've got two.
You can't.
We've got two people, so we'd have to decide which one.
It doesn't matter. We can do that here and now.
And I'm saying we're not. If
last council
the
did.
rest of the council agrees. So I'm proposing that we adjourn the discussion of the co-option until we've got more councillors here and maybe had a chance to see if we can get more people to put their names forward. So
It's got nothing to do with more people putting names forward.
Yeah.
If one person has put themselves forward to co-option, you can take that person on without a debate.
Two people have.
Take both on.
You can't.
We can only
see.
take one person on.
It's not.
It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any
We're
difference.
quorate. We should take a vote. We're quorate.
Right.
This is not the way
Okay,
to do
we
it.
vote to adjourn. That's it.
This
End of
is
story.
not democratic. This is not
Right.
correct.
Okay.
We are
Can I
quorate.
say? I think because we're in a state of flux right now, to bring somebody else in right now probably would be wrong. I don't think they would stay very long.
They wouldn't have volunteered if they didn't know what it was like.
They wouldn't have volunteered if
So
they
you
didn't think they could
assume
help.
the point is it's
Well,
it's
ask them.
been adjourned democratically.
Are both
That's
candidates
it. One person
here?
shouting doesn't make
Are
any
both
difference.
candidates here? Could the
doesn't-
candidates put their
It
hands up?
doesn't- No, you don't have to. It's nothing to do with, we have decided as a council, end of story. We will keep
But
your
it's
names
not
on
the
record.
right way of performing things.
We will keep
You've
your
not
names
been
on
looking at the
record.
standing orders.
No, I just said we're not.
You know, you've tried
This-
losing a letter.
No. This is just
Oh, it's
ridiculous.
Right, the motion has been passed, we are adjourning it. If you want to keep your name on the list for co-option, please do, we would welcome it. But we
So
will
how
do
is
it
this
with
going
the
to
rest
be
of the
minuted then?
people.
Can this be minuted fully so I can take it to whoever and say, look, they're
It
doing
will
it wrong
be-
again.
Yes,
They're
it
doing
will
it
be-
wrong again.
It will be minuted. Oh, dear. Okay, expenditure, there's nothing controversial, this is item 8, okay, there's nothing controversial. I have explained, there is no,
Let them both
there
speak.
is
They
no
might want to
call
stay, they might want to
for
drop out.
anything coming from the public gallery. Public participation finished a long while ago.
But they can't
All
believe their eyes, Councillor Buckingham.
Right.
They
We
can't
will
believe their
carry
eyes
on
or their ears.
with the agenda as per the democratic process and the lawful procedure.
But this isn't
Anybody
the
who
lawful
wants to put
procedure.
their name forward can do so.
Well, I have done.
He has done.
And there is more than yourself. So
Right, is the
they
other
are
person here?
they are not enough. It doesn't make any difference.
Well, you're quorate, aren't you?
It doesn't,
Yes,
it doesn't make
of
any
course
difference.
it makes a difference.
You
We're
don't
quorate.
have to. I
We
think
don't
perhaps you need to look at what being quorate means.
We don't have to look it up at all.
It means you can make a decision, not you have to make a decision.
It means that we've got the legal baseline here to
Right.
make a decision. And you putting
Okay.
this decision off is yet again another thing of getting in
Right.
the way of making things better.
As with item 8 earlier on, the question was asked about the mileage for the clerk being confusing. That's because the November one was authorised at that meeting. Right, so it's not actually confusing. We'll move on to number 9, planning. That's it's nice, yeah. Someone's saying about the mileage being confusing, but it's not. It was just there's no mileage for this month whatsoever. Yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, that's right, yeah, we do, yeah. Okay, yeah, sorry, number 8, yeah, this is the bit where we got guidance from Ernlicker and they got guidance from the ICO about not being able to say the amount of hours that a clerk was being paid. So we probably need to approve that, I'm not quite sure, but we'll, yeah.
Can you speak up on that?
Yeah,
We
we do
didn't
need to
quite
do
hear
that,
that bit. Can you speak up? We didn't quite hear what you said about the hours, the clock and the
Right, the question was asked at a previous meeting about the clerk's hours.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we were unsure about this because you're coming into GDPR. So I got in touch with Ernlicker, who are our guiding light, if you like. Yeah, and they got in touch with
Because
the ICO.
Baxter wanted us to
The
go there.
ICO are the regulating authorities, all right, on these matters. And they, yeah, so they came back and says, no, because you've only got a certain number of employees, if you say what the overtime hours were, it then actually effectively that identifies that person, so it's a data breach.
Was it internal?
So the ICO told us not to respond to that.
Was it an external question, you say? Not
Yeah, it was expression last year.
But it makes no difference because as a councillor I still don't have that information because it's kept from me.
Okay,
so you should have that.
So, item
yeah.
general expenditure approval, all councillors have got the amount here.
It's all on there.
Staffing costs, they were held because of confidentiality. The grass cutting of the play park, we do that by paying the North Thoresby Football Club money for that, and then they do it for us, so that's a normal one. Travel expenses, that's actually for November, it's done for this month. Tulip Healthcare, that's the bathroom supplies. Council and clerk training, there's quite a few of us went on various training courses. There's the contribution to the newsletter, that's the North Thoresby newsletter, and the expenses for the switch on, the lights, the other bits and pieces, the drinks, the mulled wine, and the stuff that everybody had last night at a lovely community event. Yeah, oh yeah, it was all covered apparently, so there's no loss there whatsoever. So if I can have, I would propose that is accepted, yeah, seconded, and Councillor Gann, are you
Accept.
accept, yeah? Right, planning applications received and results, if I can hand over to,
There were none.
there were none, so
There were
that's,
none. The only other one that I was going to get was Councillor Howard to give an update on the section 106 from Beanlands. I don't know the full information about it. My understanding is that Sergeant Holmes are offering the minimum, so we're not going to get anything out of them.
We can keep the hedgerows behind them.
was that it? Yeah.
There weren't an issue.
But no, other than that, we're not getting anything.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that, the only thing I was looking for was an update on Beanlands, but that was, Councillor Howard was doing that, and she's off ill as well. So, Christmas working group, wasn't it? Was that? Yeah. Yeah, again, do that, yeah. Because again, we've got people off ill who are doing that. So, 11, fencing at the village hall. Yeah. We've had two, it's a very bespoke job, this. We've had two quotes, one from Mr. Goodwin and one from the person who did the fencing over by the Memorial Park. Now the issue we have is that the fence had to go with, it needs to meet the requirements of BS 5395 and BS 6180, and it needs to go in place to meet the requirements of the Regulator Reform Fire Safety Order 2005, which puts it into a little bit of a specific situation. Now, unfortunately, and I have to thank Mr. Goodwin for this profusely, he's come up with a suggestion which goes all the way around, but unfortunately that they don't meet the requirements for the safeguarding side of things. But thank you so much for what you put in, that is really appreciated. The other one is, it's going to be 9 metres with a stiffener every 3 metres. The height is 1 metre, which apparently puts it in the middle between the 900 and the 1001 millimetre, but because it's on a drop down level, that meets the requirements. So basically that really, 4,028 plus VAT that one will be, but that is the only one we've got, unfortunately, which actually meets the requirement for the Regulator Reform Farm Safety Order 2005 requirements. So It's, if you haven't been here before, basically that drop out there, you're looking at the same requirements as if it was like a two-storey building and you're going out through a fire escape and it was like a landing out there and going down again. So it has to be that there's all sorts of regulations on balustrades and all sorts of stuff. But, so what I'll do is I'll call for a vote on accepting the one from the gentleman who did the one across the way there. That will meet all the safety requirements, the HSE and everything else. And then I've got a bit more information, if that is accepted by the council, I've got a bit more information on that which might help.
How much does that cost?
So,
How much did it cost?
which one?
Second one.
The one I just, oh, the one over there, 4,028 plus VAT. They could do one the same as the one on the Memorial Garden with all the intricate work in it, and that will actually meet the requirements. But you're looking at over £12,000 for that, and we just haven't got the money. So,
One question. Who decided that the fencing that I proposed, which was from a contract and some of the manufacturers, doesn't meet the regulations?
yeah, because the regulations are written down. So, BS 5395. If you tell you what, if you like, I'll send you some information. Give you the link to it. Yeah, I mean yours was without a doubt that did look good, but it didn't meet the requirement. There are certain requirements. There has to be stiffened every 3 minutes. So much of a gap between the bits and pieces and what have you. And Nigel, you'll just go out and have a word with the gentleman out there.
Well, now it's actually all quite calm. I will leave you to it, and I'll see you next month, and hopefully we'll get a line drawn under everything and you move on. Don't know what they need to do now. Not a lot.
Hold on.
Take care all, and hey. I'll have a look and I'll come back. I'll find out what the county council and we'll get the matters resolved. But it is complicated, I know that, because if you got accusations, it's only right that it doesn't go out in the public domain, and if it's not true, so there is that. And if it is true, then it has to go through a procedure.
All information is available in the public domain.
But I'll find out all that. But just get it back to the village. And
we have been trying. Trust me.
All right, take care.
Cheers. We're just waiting because the police have arrived. These ones While we're waiting, because we can't vote on this, if it is agreed, I have been approached by various groups in the village, and that's in this village, not Nocton or anywhere else, people in this village who are concerned about all the vindictive false statements being said on various Facebook groups.
What about the true statements,
So what I've done, I've had a word with various people, and I have to be honest, I'm pitching this idea from somewhere else. All right, I went past a place in Barton, and they'd got a similar fence up across one of the old buildings there. They put a black net across it, and they've got a cascade of poppies coming down for Remembrance Day, just like you know at the Tower of London or what have you. So what I've done is I had a word with the Knitters and Natters, one of our community groups, and they're quite happy to help all the other community groups to go down the same route. So what we're going to do, if the council agrees, we're going to get bits of netting, and then each group can work on their own, if you like, image. They can have their own bit of netting, like if it's the Horticultural Society, they can have things across there, and then if there's a horticultural thing, that will go up there. WI, they can do the same thing if they've got anything going on. The History Club, they can have the same sort of thing. Anything like that, so that this is what the community is, not all the stuff that's going on Facebook, not all the shouting and all the rest. This is what the community is, and this is what I was asked by members of the community to do something about. As I say, the Knitters and the Natters were very happy about this. They're the ones who did all the stuff on the telephone box for the Queen's do and what have you. Very pro-village. It's also something that we can then tie in with the school. The school children can have their own themes and what have you. We know we've got a very large proportion, unfortunately, of children here who have lost one parent at least to cancer. So what we want to do is to give them an option so that they can actually have a remembrance thing, which we'll come to in a moment. And also they can go on there and they can hang on that railing, pink ribbons during Cancer Awareness Week. Basically, it's a way for the village to talk to the village without being nasty and vindictive and shouting and blaming everybody else. That is actually what the community, what this village is about, and that's what was shown by a number of people who came here last night in the Christmas event, and that the atmosphere was actually superb. Okay, so we'll vote on that when Councillor Gallant can get back in.
Do you mind if I send you the test details on the railings that you say don't conform?
Yeah, can do, yeah. There's no problem at all, yeah.
They don't conform to BS.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got 8 pages of test results
I
on
know, yeah. It's the standard. It's the
Of course it is,
yeah.
It could be like
You know, you said that there's a certain height for the balustrade, isn't there? And it has to be a certain shape, and oh, it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah. Gaps between that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll send them over to you now.
Sorry. Yeah, it's an issue, but as I say, they're decorative, and they're just screwed straight onto the wall. You know, we explained how it needed to go down. Yeah, so yeah, there's some regulation, defamation as well if it's hit and all sorts of stuff.
That's all in there.
Yeah, you'll be familiar with the ones I'm on about. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously if the chap's making them, he's not been tested, will they?
Probably, yeah. It doesn't bespoke, so he's doing the.
So if they're bespoke,
yeah,
you've got to have them destructed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not going to be sending a set of those railings off.
Oh, so what you're saying? Yeah, you're saying, yeah. But the things that, as I say, the actual panels that you came back with, they do look a lot better. There's no two ways about that. But they don't. We don't even. I mean, the people don't even want the railings.
I appreciate it, but then again.
So keep it to the idea is to keep it to a minimum, and then use it as a way for the community to speak to the community.
That should be in your inbox shortly.
The plaque stands as a village hall, but it's not actually being a village hall, is it? It's actually doing it for stuff. Yeah, so we'll engage with it. Yeah. No. Excuse me. two things. Yeah, and then start the debate on next meeting. Right. Okay, everyone, so, right, we'll get there. Right, so what we're voting on then is, I mean, we could propose the other one, but it doesn't meet the requirements. This is the more decorative one. So I'm going to propose we vote to, and we have to do it this meeting, we have to decide, otherwise we've got to give the money back and then we're going to have to ask for more anyway, because we still need a fence. So I'm going to propose that we accept the 9mm one, the stiffener, etc., at a price of £4,028 plus VAT. So I will propose that. Anybody second that? Yep. Second. And the vote? Councillor again?
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay. I explained to everyone about the netting across the thing, but rather than try and speed things up, I'll explain that to you all. Up to Nigel, yeah, you was here, yeah. Right, item 12, plaque at the village hall. This actually is a little bit of confusion. It was possibly going to be at the village hall, but it's actually now across the way in the memorial garden.
Right, what it is.
Yeah.
It was never going to be at the village hall. It was always going to be.
Yeah, I know, it was always going to be across there, I know, yeah.
It's by the
Yeah, it's more of a typing error than anything else.
Do you want to explain it, Claire? Or do you want
Can
me
do,
to?
if that's all right.
Please, yeah, if you would, yeah. That's a brilliant
because
idea.
we did
Yeah.
it between us.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So what events have done is bought a small Christmas tree for £30, and we've had it planted in the memorial garden. And we've bought a plaque which says the North Walsall Memorial Tree for all those we have loved and lost from the Community Events Association and the Parish Council, in the hope that you will approve sharing the costs with us 50-50, which is £66 something. You've got it, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm got it in front of me. Yes,
It's like 63.71 or
something along those
50-50
lines, and a few
share.
pence. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. It's for anybody to go and lay flowers or tie a ribbon on or remember and
all year long.
Anything. Yeah, it's planted, so it'll be there for forever, permanently. For anyone to go and remember anyone that they've lost, because we've lost so many people in this village. So that was the idea, and that's what it's
It's nice to work with events as well.
Yeah, I just think it's a lovely idea for people who've lost someone. So, shall I propose that then? Yeah. Yeah, seconded. And
vote.
Yeah, all in favour. So the next thing is just agree the date of the next meeting. We've got down the 7th, but I think actually the 8th is the.
It is the 8th.
Is the date, isn't it?
Must have been okay. Oh, January. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I know. See, that's where I went wrong as well.
No. Bring my next year's diary.
Is it January the 8th?
It's the first one is the first, but it will be the second week, which is the 8th.
It is the 8th. Oh, right, excellent. Yeah. So we agree the date for the next meeting as the 8th of January. I'll propose. Seconded. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Agreed unanimously. Right. Thank you very much. That closes the meeting.
So when are we going to meet to organise officey type things and get things sorted out, like office-wise and organisation-wise? Councillor Buckingham.
Put in a proposal and we'll see what we do.
Yeah, put a proposal in for January and go from there.
Proposal? What do you mean a proposal? A proposal for an EOM?
Yeah, well, no,
Or just like
if
an
you want it
informal
on,
meeting?
if you want it on the an agenda item and put it in as for the normal procedure.
But talking about running the council as opposed to the things that the council do, it takes up too much time. Can't we do something in between? We can have an informal discussion about it, surely.
But it's not the end of it.
Well, I wasn't suggesting before Christmas, but we do need to talk about the